Yo, what's up, people of YouTube? SoresanCrockxen back here with Legend of Korra, episode number 9. I just finished watching it. Like I said, I'm going to do these videos like that so I can get you guys caught up at least, or at least for me as well. Let me just tell you this episode again. Just like episode 8, had me going like so fast. It was ridiculous. I mean, I got to give props to Legend of Korra. It's doing something that kind of, the previous series had a little trouble with, was maintaining a rhythm like this. I loved out the previous series. It was amazing. I did not dislike any of the episodes. There were some slow episodes. This one keeps it going. I like that. So this episode, and I still like the fact that in the beginning of the episodes, uh, the announcer guy gives a recap of the previous one. They didn't do that in the last one. So if you missed the previous episode and you watched the new one, you wouldn't really understand what was going on. So I like the fact that they're doing that. So now back to the episode. We start this off. Find out Milo. I know this is like a random thing to say, but I just found it funny. Milo sleeps with his parents. And now the joke isn't that. It's the fact that the phone starts ringing and he picks it up all pissed. He's like, "Who is this? What do you think you're doing? It's 6 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm trying to sleep over here." And I'm like, "Oh my, this kid just literally jumps over his dad, picks up the phone, and just starts raging on whoever's calling." And I'm like, "Jeez, bro. Chill out." I mean, like I said in the previous review, I know he's retarded, but come on, he's just pulling this off. So, anyways, apparently that's when Tenzin gets the news that Korra has been quote unquote kidnapped by the Equalists. Or at least that's what the story is. Freaking when he gets there, of course, Tarlok made up some bullshit story, and he planted the evidence. Like, he actually showed us the scene where he was planting the evidence and how he shocked himself in the right arm, his right arm, with one of the gloves. And I was like, what an asshole, because apparently, he's like, "Oh, I was knocked out, and then the police came, and then I told them what happened. So I had just woken up, Korra was gone, blah, 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 blah." Stuff like that. So, like I said, I hate Tarlok. I hate his ass. I just hate him so much. He's such a jerk. Anyways, so when this happens, they call out they're like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta find Korra because she's the Avatar." Mako starts showing some very strange things here because he starts getting really worried. Asami notices this. She gets very upset, which I think was cool. Like, I liked how they did that. How he suddenly has this how his side of his crush for Korra is showing this way, like really worried about her because she's now gone. So, anyways, Bei Fong actually gets out of the hospital. Like, she just literally, like, it was cool how she got up after she heard the news, like she was listening to the radio. When she opens her cupboard, and like she just stands like this, whack, all her clothes just get snapped back on. She takes off their police badge and throws it on the ground. I'm like, yeah, say no to the law. Just kidding, but it was pretty cool. Like, Bei Fong is just cool. I just gotta say that she's awesome. And then she goes to rescues Asami, Mako, and Bolin from jail. And then there's a funny scene here because Bolin's trying to pee in the corner, and he's like, "Shut your ears, Mako! I can't pee while you're listening." And I'm like, "What the heck?" And then the door just opens, and Asami barges in and starts making out with Mako. And he's like, "Excuse me, a little privacy over here." And then Bei Fong's like, "Come on, go." So Asami and Mako go out, and then Bolin starts walking out. She like zips up his pants, like your fly was down. I was like, "Oh, she's the boss." Like, that was cool. I gotta admit, that was cool. And then we actually get to see Korra. Like, she actually took Tenzin's advice and started meditating, which I really like. How she's starting to get into her spiritual side, because without that spiritual side, you can't master airbending. That's what Aang told us last time. Monks are all about meditating. That's how they master airbending. It's through meditation, patience, all that stuff. So Korra needs this. Korra needed this. I like how they put this in the plot. How she has to meditate in order to master airbending. And we finally get to see the connection between all the visions. So I was like so irritated that they kept doing it. Like, I know I kept begging for it. I was like, come on, I want to know what this means. So apparently there's this evil guy, this guy who was the ruler of the underground criminal organization, I guess you could say. Um, but he did it through special means. Because we see Aang and we see Toph, which I was like, yes, old characters coming back to life. Um, so Aang, apparently, Toph was on his mission, and then Aang comes in and she's like, you don't need to be here. And he's like, well, considering the fact that we've been told, blah blah blah. Apparently, this dude's a bloodbender. They tell us that later though. And I like the reference. She calls him Twinkle Toes. Yes, he's like, I'm 40 years old. Stop with the nicknames. I was like, no, you take that nickname and you appreciate it. Oh, I was like, old school Toph. Like Toph was one of my favorite characters in the previous series. I love the fact that she just brought that up. Even when they were older, she still used it. I don't know, that's just cool. So of course there's an interchangeable book because Korra is actually questioning why she's seeing this, but she would prefer to try to escape. So anyways, so actually we go from that to the other guys. It's Beifong, Mako, Bolin, Asami, Tenzin try to rescue Korra. They're going to go to the Equalist hideout to try to find her. So what they do is that Bolin remembers when he got caught and they felt like they went underground, so they actually go to where they last saw the truck, and then again the whole referencing with seeing things through the ground with a Beifong is it's just bringing back Toph's skills. So she finds the tunnel and they go into the tunnel. They do a raid. Freaking Beifong just starts using her metal bending like a boss. Like she lifts the freaking thing up like this. It's awesome. So they go inside and freaking Mako's using fair bending as light, and then they actually get to a certain point where they have to hide because there's equalists, the chi blockers with motorcycles, and we see there's an entrance. So when the the chi blockers go inside, the thing closes. It's like a wall that opens. Freaking Beifong just walks up to it, ascends the walk, unlocks it. It's just cool how she did it. Unlocks it, freaking flips the freaking wall over. Yeah, let's go in. Let's get it on. So they go inside, closes. Woo! Beifong's just awesome. I gotta say. So and then they find out where Korra might be. They get on the car, and they find out that it goes to the prison side of their underground facility. And they go in the car, and the car starts moving on its own. They obviously start going. And then they do the whole disappearing act. Like, the car gets to where it's supposed to go, but it's completely empty. And freaking Beifong just captures the two dudes that were guarding, puts them down, and then they go in. When they go in, Bolin stays with Asami down below to keep guard of the car and then protect everything, and kind of hint them. Beifong again uses her earth-bending seeing abilities to find Korra and her guards. She finds the guards, she still can't find Korra. They go in, they knock out one of the guards, freaking Mako just starts wailing her. He's like, where's Korra? Beifong rescues her guards, obviously, and apparently Korra's not there. Obviously, we knew she wasn't there. But Korra's not there, that's when they find out. Of course, Tarlok made the whole thing up. So now they try to go back. I gotta say, again, Tenzin freaking airbended that. Well, that was cool. Like, freaking two blockers, freaking airbending skills like a boss right there. I love the fact, it's just awesome. So anyways, after that, they go and try to escape because the alarm goes off, and Bolin earthbends to protect them from behind. Beifong metal bends to get them out. What she does is the cart is connected to a rail, and the rail is what guides the cart through. What she does is that she bends one part, breaks it off, and has the cart go on top, and then she makes a hole in the upper level ceiling to get out, and then she escapes through the ceiling of the tunnel, the original tunnel. It was like, yes! Big Fawn's just awesome. I gotta say, I'm starting to like her more every time. So we also go back to Korra, where she gets another vision of what they're in a courtroom, and what's going on in this courtroom? There's a guy named Jacome, or Chacone. I don't remember how it's. I think it's with an. Anyways, Jacome is the name of the dude, and basically he's being charged, like the guy they arrested earlier in the previous flashback. They're freaking Sokka is a freaking councilman. I thought that was awesome. Like, yeah, all the characters have been seen already. I love it. So Sokka's a councilman, which is awesome, and he's apparently like the head one. So he's the head council guy, which is even better. Just because he's Sokka and he was stupid and ridiculous in the previous series. I love the fact that even though through all the bullshit that happened, he still made it to the top. Of course, Aang was his friend, so probably that's kind of what boosted him in there. Anyways, aside of that, so they're doing a trial because Jacome has to defend himself. He's got a lawyer and everything. Like they have, it's like a legit court. And of course, the prosecution's all like, well, we have dozens of witnesses, and the defense brings this up, which is really like a legit defense if it was in real world. Like he's like, you're talking about blood bending, which is a skill that can only be done in the full moon, and these dozens of witnesses say that he did it in every day possible except on a full moon, which is basically impossible. Now I remember Korra doing it before, so yeah, not Korra, Katara. Wrong reference there. I'm mixing that. Anyways, so it is possible. There are those few people that can do it. So, obviously, it's a legit defense, though. I actually have to agree with. I was actually agreeing with the defense. That is a legit defense right there. But he's still He's still counted guilty. And then he uses bloodbending to control everybody in the building. Which is weird. But he escapes, and that's when Korra realized. No, it's before that. Well, I'm trying to skip ahead. But Korra does realize that Jacome is Tarlok's dad, which I was like, whoa. But anyway, so freaking Aang just he literally knocks out everybody in the courtroom. Even Aang, he freaking picks him up and throws him on the ground with his bloodbending. After Toph, he has Toph release his cuffs. Then he escapes, but Aang, being a boss, just wakes up again. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. He follows him with a freaking huge ass ball of air. Remember the air rides that he used to do? Well, he had a big ass ball of air, and he was following him. Just freaking goes on the freaking side of the wall, and then cuts the line of the horse that had the horse taking the car. Freaking car breaks, and then freaking dude is just bam, walks out of nowhere, starts bloodbending Aang again. He's like, I'm gonna kill you this time. I'm like, hell no! Freaking Aang just freaking Avatar states his ass, just owned, and then takes away his bending. He's like, bitch, you just got owned. I was like, yes, freaking Aang for the win, Aang for the win. So anyways, so again, this is when Korra finds out that Tarlok is the son of this huge criminal mastermind. And of course, everybody else goes to tell the other councilman that Tarlok's the traitor. And Tarlok shows up. He's like, hey, what happened to Korra? He's like, you happened to Korra. And then, of course, he starts building on some bullshit story. Like always. And remember that lady? Remember that lady he sent home? Yeah. She showed up and he's like, yeah, he did it. I saw him do it. And I was like, whoa, where did she come from? How does she know she did it? Or he did it and she left. Apparently she was sneaking around. She was about to leave and she saw him put Korra on the cart. And then freaking Bayfawn actually says it's a legit reason. And her reason was legit why she didn't say it. She's like, I didn't tell you because Tarlok's a bloodbender. And everybody's like, what? And then freaking Tenzin goes into a battle stance. He's like, don't make this harder than it has to be. And then Bei Fong goes into a battle stance. And he freaking controls everybody in the freaking room except for that lady because she's upstairs. And controls everybody in the room, knocks them all out. And then they all wake up and they try to trace Tarlok. And Tarlok gets back home, and then Korra literally just says, "What? Did they discover your secret?" And he actually says, like, his reason is legit. Like, he's like, well, the reason why this all happened is because I want to take control of the public city. But unlike my father, I want to do it the right way. Because his father was a criminal mastermind, while he's like a councilman, loved by everybody, or supposed to be loved by everybody, and stuff like this. So he was doing it the legit way. Like, I still hate Tarlok, and I hated him through the episode, but he gave a real legit reason. I mean, he was doing this the right way. Whether he was corrupted or not, he was not doing anything criminal until he kidnapped Korra. So he kind of deserved. I mean, I wouldn't want him to be, but he kind of made a good, valid point. He wasn't being like his dad. He was doing all the right things. Well, again, he's a politician. I don't like him. But anyways, so yeah, Amon suddenly shows up. It's like it was like the weirdest thing ever. Cause he's like, I'm gonna move, and you're coming with me as my freaking hostage and shit. And like he goes upstairs and a freaking Amon is just there with like freaking chi blockers. I was like, what the hell is he doing? How did he even find this? Like, I'm serious. Like, and this is where like, okay, so Tarlok is not Amon. Who the fuck is Amon then? Like, this story just keeps confusing me, but it makes me want to watch more, because then I'll be... Oh, but anyway, so Tarlok is not Amon, which is bummer. I wanted Korra to kick his ass, but whatever. And he does do bloodbending on the chi blockers, but apparently it doesn't work on Amon, which makes me even more curious to what the fuck he is. Because, seriously, it's like bloodbending. You can't block against that. I mean, I don't know. It's weird how that works. But anyways, Korra gets away because Amon takes Tarlok's bending away. So I was like, you know what, you deserve that. I don't care what your little crappy story is like. You deserve it. I hate him. I hated him from the beginning, and I still hate him now. I hope I never see him again until the end of the series, at least. And then Korra manages to escape because when Amon tells him to take Korra, they tell him to shock the box. But Korra, being a smart girl she is, she uses the freaking, it's like an air vent thing, and she puts a scarf on it to hold herself up, to where when they shock the box, it would only shock the outer part, and when it would get to the bars, it would shoot up instead of in. And then, you know, she pretended to be knocked out, and then she firebended her way out of there, escapes, owns Amon, I mean, not really owns Amon, but kind of makes it to where she can't catch him. She starts snowboarding. Like, not snowboarding, snow skating. Like, she was just using the snow, and she was just going down it like a boss. But she passes out, Naga rescues her, and then they go to the city, they find Korra. Tenzin and Bei Fong start questioning her, and Mako's like, whoa, give her some space, guys. Picks her up and takes her to the freaking bison. I don't even know the name of the bison. I don't think they've said the name of the bison yet, but they took some bison. She's like, I'm glad you're here. And he's like, it'll all be okay now. And Asami, of course, is worried because I'm pretty sure she started to know that Mako's gonna leave her for Korra, which makes me think that Asami's gonna go bad. I hope not, because that would ruin Team Avatar. But I could see it happening now because jealousy gets in the way. Her dad's already on their side. So I guess that kind of gives her a drive, kind of for revenge against Korra and to be with her dad. I don't know. Like, I could see that as a pro for her. I hope she doesn't, though. I hope she doesn't. I like Asami. I really don't want her to go, but I can see it happening. So that's it for this review. I'm going to watch episode 10 now, and then review that, and then I'll be done for today. And tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways, thanks you guys for watching. Please leave your comments down below what you think of this episode. What do you think about Tarlok not being Amon, which is something that a lot of people said. I'm sorry again if this is late. I'm trying to catch up as much as possible. I'm ready for episode 11 that comes out on Saturday, so I want to watch it then, and then actually be able to get back to my normal schedule. So I guess that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment, and also keep mastering whatever bending skill is that you like, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.